People think this job is all Ferraris, power suits, and shouting "sell" into 3 phones at once while doing something questionable with a candle. They watch The Wolf of Wall Street and think, yeah, I could handle some light white-collar crime if it means I get a penthouse. But let's be real. If you're an investment banking analyst, your life isn't a Scorsese movie. It's a high-stakes version of Office Space where the stakes are purely imaginary and the printer is actually your boss's ego. The reality of being an investment banker is that you are essentially a glorified, overpaid, and chronically sleep-deprived administrative assistant with a fancy degree. You spent 4 years at an Ivy League school studying macroeconomics just to spend 18 hours a day aligning logos on a PowerPoint slide.
My pay this week, $1,250. Whoa, mine is $1,475. Overtime is awesome. Wait, you earn more than me? Yep, you should apply. We're hiring. I might have to.
Welcome to the big leagues, kid. Now, make sure that blue is exactly the shade of corporate despair, or the managing director will have a literal aneurysm. Let's talk about the hours, because that's the first thing everyone mentions. When people hear 80 to 100 hours a week, they think, oh, that's just hard work. No, that's not hard work. That's a violation of the Geneva Convention. It means your 9 to 5 is actually 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. You don't have a social life. You have a LinkedIn presence. You don't have hobbies. You have deliverables. You measure your life in quarters, not seasons. I've seen analysts get excited about a dental appointment because it's the only time someone else is looking into their mouth and they don't have to talk about EBITDA. The golden handcuffs are real. You're making more money than your friends who went into teaching or graphic design, sure. But then you do the math. When you divide your 6-figure salary by the 5,000 hours you worked this year, you realize you're making roughly the same hourly rate as a shift manager at a very successful Taco Bell. The only difference is the shift manager gets to go home and sleep, and they don't have to deal with a vice president calling them at 3 a.m. on a Sunday because a comma is in the wrong place on page 47 of a pitch deck that literally no one is going to read. That's the dirty secret of IB. Most of the work is useless. It's pitching. You spend weeks building a 100-page deck for a merger that has a 2% chance of actually happening. You're creating valuation models that are basically just educated guesses wrapped in enough Excel formulas to make it look like science. It's financial alchemy. You're trying to turn lead into gold, but mostly you're just turning your youth into dark circles under your eyes. And the culture? It's a frat house where the hazing never ends and everyone is wearing Patagonia vests. There is a specific type of psychological warfare that happens in these banks. It's called the please fix. Those 2 words, sent in an email at 11:45 p.m. on a Friday, have the power to ruin lives. Were you about to leave? Please fix. You have a date? Please fix. Your grandmother's 90th birthday? Please fix the font size on the appendix. It creates a level of Stockholm syndrome where you start to take pride in how miserable you are. You wear your exhaustion like a badge of honor. Oh, you only pulled 2 all-nighters this week. Must be nice to work part-time. Then there's the physical toll. Your body starts to adapt to a diet of black coffee, adrenaline, and whatever lukewarm salad you ordered on Seamless at 10 p.m. because the bank pays for dinner if you stay late enough. You start to look like a Victorian ghost. Your skin takes on a translucent, grayish hue that only comes from a total lack of vitamin D and a surplus of blue light. The gym membership you pay for is basically a charitable donation to Equinox, because the only heavy lifting you do is carrying the weight of your own existential dread. Why do people do it? For the exit opportunities. That's the carrot on the stick. You grind for 2 years in the hopes that a private equity firm or a hedge fund will kidnap you and take you to a slightly more prestigious basement. It's a 2-year sentence you serve to prove you're tough enough to handle a career where you never see your family.